Pro String Archery here today. We're going to show you how we tie in a peep sight. Some things you're going to need is obviously a peep, some serving thread, a very sharp razor, a lighter, pliers. Now my pliers has been modified. I have modified it to have flat jaws. Sometimes you can get lucky enough to find one in a store with them. If not, you can modify them yourself. And a bench grinder, a belt sander works much better. You flatten the jaws, and you may have to cut away your cutting area enough so that it can close all the way. The ones with serrated teeth will work, but they tend to break and tear and cut your serving as you're pulling your knots tight, rather than being able to get a good firm grip on them. It's not a need to have one with flat jaws, but is much preferred. Now, to save some time today, we've already got the distance between the D-loop, or your anchor point, to the peep sight set. This is my wife's bow. To set that, you have the shooter put an arrow in, put the release on, draw the bow with their eyes closed, get their anchor point locked in, whether they shoot above their jaw, below their jaw, whatever they do, have them get their anchor point comfortable, then have them open their eyes. And you adjust the peep sight up or down that when they open their eyes, they're looking directly through it. Their field of view is perfectly through that peep sight. You might take several tries, but you never want to tie your peep sight in and then adjust your anchor point on your face or your neck or your jaw to fit the peep sight. You always want to adjust the peep sight to the anchor point. Consistent shooting comes from consistent form. So you want your anchor point where it is the most comfortable and natural every time. So once again, adjust the peep sight, not the anchor point. Now once that's done, we like to have a marker and go ahead and put a mark right in the center of the peep on the string. That way when you're tying your knot, if your peep sight moves at all, you have a reference point to put it back. It's frustrating to tie your peep in. You go to shoot your bow, you draw it back, and you realize your peep's not where it was when you started. That's the only purpose of the knot, the mark. You're going to want 2.5 to 3 feet of serving. You're going to want to take it, put it through the 2 bundles of the string, just like the peep sight is even it out. And then you're just going to start wrapping it around the string. Just continue wrapping it around the string, sliding it tight. Keep it about 3/4 of an inch away from your peep, pulling it tight. Just wrapping it around till you have a 1/4 inch or so of wraps on there that are on there nice and tight. And this is where we're going to do our knot. You're going to take your finger underneath your serving, and you're going to hold it with your pinky or ring finger down here. And you're going to go up and over the string. So as you're holding it, coming from the bottom side of the string, down here with your hand, you go up and over and through your loop. Okay, let's show that one more time. You're holding it up here from the bottom side of the string, and down here with your ring finger or your pinky. You're going up and over the string and through the loop. You want to do that 12 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. This is what's called a back wrap knot. There you have your 12 times. You take your tag end after you've come through the loop with it, put it up over in front of the thread coming down from your string, pull it up in there. Now it'll hold itself, and this is when you back wrap your knot right back onto the string, making sure your serving lays flat on the string. You just wrap them knots right back around, and don't worry, we'll show this again on the bottom side so that you get a good grasp of how it's done. So there's no more left here. You take your pliers with your tags and pull them. Oops, I tried to get them both at the same time, but it's alright. You don't need to cinch it down real tight yet. Just leave it like that. Check your mark, make sure your peep sight's on. If you slid down the string, whatever, just put it back where it's supposed to be using your reference point. Once again, another 2.5 to 3 feet of serving. Now we're going to go through the string again. And for some of you at home, it might be easier to go work from the other side of the bow. To do the knots, you can do it with the same hands. I can do it either hand. So you fold it, you get it in half so your tag ends are equaled out. You take your finger here again and hold it. And then you start wrapping it. Slide it up to get about the same distance. Slide these tight here. Now, make sure your peep is on its mark. Don't worry if it's the strings turned or anything like that. It'll do that till we get it situated. Slide it up. You want the same distance from the top knot to the peep, from the peep to the bottom knot. And once again, you want to have about 1/4 inch of wrap on there. Okay, just to verify, our peep is on the mark. About the same distance from here to there, to there, to there. Then we're going to do our back wrap knot again, holding with your finger down below. And then your fingers down here, either your ring finger or your pinky finger, holding it to make your loop up and over the string again. So once again, index finger to hold it, ring finger or pinky finger or both holding it down here to make a loop, and up and over the string, holding this loop open as you're going to pull through your serving, through the loop you've made. And you're going to want to do that 12 times. Okay, that one didn't go through that last time. There we go. Now you take them tag ends, go over your tag coming from your wraps, and just pull it up under there. It'll actually hold itself. Then you just take your back wrap portion of your knot and start wrapping it around the string, and your knot's going to transfer from over here to wrapping over your tag up on this end. It's a standard knot doing any serving. You can use your hand or pliers to pull your tag ends tight again here. If one gets tighter than the other one, just find whichever one's loose and snug it up. So now you have it to where you got your tag ends here. Now you're going to take your pliers and tighten them up by snapping on them. The top one, you want to snap towards the bottom of the bow. Pull that tight. The bottom knot, you want to snap towards the top. Okay. Then we're going to take that sharp razor and cut about 1/4 inch tag ends. If you don't want to use a lighter here, this is where you can use some super glue. You can go ahead and you could have cut that almost flush and then just put a drop of super glue on it, but melting these with a lighter is a much more consistent and solid way to keep your knot from coming loose. And less is more here. Don't get too fast when you're melting this. The less you melt at a time, the less risk you have of damaging something. And just press that down on there nice. You got a nice ball so that serving cannot pull it back through. Okay. Now, to align the Peep, this press won't work on this bow right now. I'm not going to do it. This press would actually damage this bow. But on a single cam bow, I always follow the string down and adjust the Peep from this end of the string. This Peep right here, what I would do is I would remove half a twist from the string right here, and it would line it right up. It'd bring it right where it needs. If it's like, let's say over there, I would go a full twist. If it was on this side, I would add twist, but being it's over there, just remove half a twist. On a twin or a cam and a half bow, I also do them from the bottom cam. Doing them from the top cam is too aggressive of a turn, and it's hard to get your Peep orientated where you need it to. So once again, I do it from the bottom of the string on a single cam bow and the bottom cam on a cam and a half and a twin cam bow. I'll take care of that after the video is done for her though. We got to finish tying in this Peep. We need another 2 feet of serving. It is very important that you tie around the safety grooves. I've had a Peep sight come out of a string and hit me in the eye. I actually lost my vision in that eye for a brief period of time. I went to the doctor, the eye doctor, and they could see the circle of the Peep embedded in the flesh of my eye. It is very important that you tie this in for safety. It's not worth losing your eye over. So take about 2 feet of serving, put it in the groove, and just an overhand knot, just like you're going to tie your shoes. Just do it on the top. Now go 180 on the Peep, so you're doing your knot just like you're starting to tie your shoes on the bottom of the Peep, and then 180 to the top again, same knot. Pull it tight after you get about 3 of them on there. Go to the bottom again. Pull it tight. Pull it down nice and tight then, instead of just going once with that knot. Now when you're on the tops, you can work with it. Go ahead and get 3, 4 of them on there. And then here, if you're going to use super glue, you cut them off almost flush. If you're going to melt them, about 1/4 inch tags. You're going to go ahead, melt them tags down. Being careful not to damage your string. Okay. As I said, this press will not do this bow. I don't have the equipment set up and ready. We'll do that in another video. We'll show you how to align your Peep. It's a really easy process once you understand how to do it. You know, like I say, do it from the bottom cam in half turns for a small adjustment, full turns for a bigger adjustment. If you need to bring the Peep from the right back to center, remove twist. If you need to bring it from the right over to center, add twist. Generally, half a twist is going to get you where you need to be. If you got a quality string, it's gonna stay there from static to full draw. You're not going to have a lot of Peep movement. That should about do it. It should give you a good idea how to tie in a Peep yourself at home. Once you have a good grasp of doing these things, and the other videos I've showed with serving and stuff like that, you don't have to rely on a shop to do your work, and you can get the satisfaction of doing it yourself. Thanks a lot from ProString.